picture. So let's hear from you.
Well, the issues are multifaceted. Yes, we have a generation capacity of 12,000 megawatt, 8,000 megawatt available, but the operational capacity at a time T is around 4,500, 5,000 megawatt. Why is that so? The generators' deliverance or efficiency is a contributing factor. Availability of gas to the stations. The gas price itself that has been domiciled in dollars is a problem to the off-takers. The transmission grid itself still has some areas that needs firming up. There are issues to do with the grid stability. There are also issues at the distribution side of the, that is where the money comes in. Apart from the operational issues, the tariff issue is there, their performance to actually collect what they have received from the grid. There are transparency issues also with regards to payment timelines as the settlement system. The grid itself needs to be automated. All this blame game of not taking power by the discourse or rejecting power will be solved when the SCADA has been operationalized. Issues of contracts, the legal issues, contract operationalization, the market rules. These are things that have held the power sector from moving forward. The operators are talking of cost-reflective tariff. They are also talking about recovering their cost recovery, access to financing, capital financing from the banks or financial institutions. These are issues that needs to be looked at holistically. It's not a question of cherry-picking the problems and saying these are. There has to be a holistic approach to the sector so that we know where to fix and at what time, if we are to fix it in tandem, what will it cost and so on. There are also other issues on subsidy or no subsidy on the sector. If you compare it with what has happened or what is happening right now in the petroleum sector, how much is government subsidizing in the petroleum sector? If you look at the banking sector from 2009 to 2011, what has happened to the banking sector that it was bailed out from the crisis that it went into? If we want to get things right in the power sector, we have to tell ourselves the truth, come back to the drawing table as a nation and look at the issues holistically and solve the problem. If we just hit the problem that you can generate whatever you want to generate, as long as it will go down the value chain with the losses that we have, with the collection or the present settlement system that is manual, the collector will remit what he wants to remit to the market. We need to automate the settlement system with an aggregator in the Nigerian banking system. Thank you.
All right. We had also asked that the Electricity Regulation Commission, we had also asked them to come on this program. We hope they might just make it before we round off. So you do have a regulatory body, and where companies are not performing, why are they getting away with it?
Well, there are KPIs the regulator put in place to monitor performance. Monthly, they file their reports on their operations. However, what the customer wants to see, as you said, is reality. Once the distribution licensee does not maintain his lines, maybe trace clearing or the waste itself and the pole supports, we will continue to have problem of line stripping. And if it is spontaneous for example, in a large area, in most cases, it pulls down the grid.
So any distortion or any problem to just one part of it is capable of...
It's already a weak,
Okay.
and I will say obsolete network.
All right. Well, the phone lines are open. We'll return to you in just a moment. Do we have our first caller on this program tonight? All right. We have Kenneth calling in. Oh, well, we've lost that call. I do understand. But just, I know on a night like this, the calls will just be coming through. Okay? Now we have Ada calling in from Jos. Hello. Ada from Jos, are you with us? Oh, well, challenges with the phone system, just like challenges with the power system. So we hope we'll fix that. But then these companies, everyone had thought that once the discos had been privatized, and like the MD said, it's always been said that the private sector can and has the capacity to perform better. But Nigerians are asking. In fact, some Nigerians say, look, it was even better before privatization than it is now.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, you can say that, but depends if you have done a study on that or not. When the new investors took over, I'm not vouching for them,
Yes,
because they need to be here and they were invited, maybe they didn't come. There were things that they are supposed to have done, and there were things the regulator is supposed to have done with respect to tariff, for them with respect to investment. However, they have been, will I say, carried away to payments of takeover loans instead of investing. They have been carried away on looking for reflective tariff, which they have been hammering right from takeover to debt, while their performance with respect to collection has not gone beyond what the former government workers were collecting. Also, their corporate governance with respect to transparency of operations. If you collect, for example, 10 naira, and the market has given you 3 naira as your own portion of the collection, you are supposed to remit back 7 naira to the value chain, up to the gas man. And you didn't do that, you are holding on to 5 naira. Then you send 5 naira for the others. Certainly you are bringing... the thing is, they are not remitting back to the value chain.
Right.
What they ought to remit. It's like there is a withhold of funds by the collectors.
Okay, so...
And the only way to get that across is maybe through forensic auditing. We are talking on recapitalization.
Okay.
We need to know what happened at the time they bought the assets.
My God. How much were you collecting?
They bought it in dollars.
Right.
They took loans in dollars. But the tariff is in naira.
Okay.
If at the time they took the loan, maybe the exchange rate is 200 naira, for example, and they are paying the banks that they took the loan for to buy the asset, maybe 200 million naira monthly. However, there was no tariff increase. They are now supposed to pay 400 million naira monthly. That in itself has put them in a disadvantaged position on their capitalization.
All right.
Here, there has to be a way out. Either the CBN help them to renegotiate the loan and domicile it back to naira at an appropriate rate, so that they will be freed with the burden of exchange forex shock. Same thing with the gas pricing. While the gas that is used from the generators is in dollars, the tariff is in naira. There is risk that has not been properly apportioned across the value chain. These issues, as I said, needs to be looked at holistically. It's not enough to sit down and say the licensees are not doing enough. No matter the power, quantum of power you generate, if the naira portion of the value chain is not addressed well, we will not get it right. Either the tariff is not enough or the performance of the licenses is not enough.
Yes.
You or in court, maybe on their monitoring and enforcement, there is, for example, a regulatory capture that the regulator cannot enforce its own orders, they cannot put on penalties, cumbersome dispute resolution mechanism. For example, you are giving a crazy bill, you don't know where to go and correct it. And it will take you 6 months to be following the licensee to correct it. And if you pay for a PPM meter, they will be very delighted to transfer the debt without reconciliation to your new PPM meter that you must pay before you charge the meter. These are regulatory issues that the regulator has to wake up on monitoring and compliance and enforcement of their own rules. The issue is beyond the market itself. We need to operationalize contracts. Discos have not dropped, many of them have not dropped their 3 months LC. So they can run away with market settlement issues without repercussions. Nobody will go to the bank and maybe garnish their account. That is why the government, I think twice, pumped in money to salvage the sector.
And still,
the first one to pay legacy debt, the second one, 710 billion naira, has gone down the drain. It's a sinking hole. There is another one that is just about to, it's been with the $1 billion investment that we have to do gap analysis on the interface point and on the disco network itself to find out where are we supposed to invest. It's not just saying I need money. It has to be calculated investment.
Yeah, I think...